to Austin, Texas, and the 10th-ranked team in the country. It's the Longhorns 1-0 against the Bruins of UCLA, who come in 0-2. And the big story again, James Brown, the regular starting quarterback, injured in the season opening win over Rutgers. Late in the half of that game, went down with the same left ankle problem that he had a couple of years ago, and with that, it means Richard Walton will get the start at quarterback for the Longhorns on their home turf today. Pac-10 Big 12 matchup, and UCLA will tee it up. Chris Saylor set to kick away for the Bruins, who lost 37-34 to Washington State in their opener and 30-24 to Tennessee last week. That's Hodges Mitchell, a lightning quick freshman out of Dallas, back as one of the return men for Texas. Bob Toledo in his second year as the head man after taking over for Terry Donahue. 5-8 so far. We're underway in Austin. And this one out of the end zone. And that means Texas will go to work offensively from its own 20-yard line. As we take a look at the Chili starting lineup for the Longhorns, the big uns up front: Bishop, Raessler, Fiebiger, Adams, and a Humphrey. Fiebiger at center, maybe the best of that group. Brian White and Wayne McGarity, the wide receiver. Steve Bradley will alternate at tight end with Derek Lewis, and in the backfield, Walton at quarterback, Ricky Williams, 155 yards in the opener last week behind Jeff Clayton, the fullback. So Richard Walton, a junior out of Bay City, Texas, says he knew when he was 3 years old there were two things in life he wanted to do: be a doctor and start at quarterback for Texas. Well, he's got one wish here today. From the 20, first down Longhorns in a 4-wide out look, and it's Walton to throw in the first play of the game. And he's got his man. And it is Derek Lewis, the other tight end, for 17. Lewis is the pass receiver of the bunch, Bradley the blocking tight end, and that time Lewis picks up the first down. A very light group up front, not big at all. Holland, Smith, Weldon Ford led the club in sacks last year for UCLA. McGee, Wilmer, Ian Badejo, the linebacking core. Wilmer is on the Butkus watch list. And there's a rover and then 4 defensive backs. It's a different look defense. Whitfield, Guidry, Atkins, Anderson, and Tompkins back there for UCLA. And again on first down to throw is Walton, and he's 2 for 2. Out to the 45, a pickup of 8. Got it out to Wayne McGarity. Any butterflies, Richard Walton would have it flown away, Gary.
I think John Makovic knew that the quarterback might have a few butterflies, but he said, let's start out by throwing. And when you look at this Texas offense, you see probably the most balanced offense in college football, and it's always been that way when you look at John Makovic's offense. And they're going up against a little bit of different defense. I've got to do a lot of studying in this game to make sure I know where they are. But more importantly, I think John Makovic and Gene Dahlquist, the offensive coordinator, has a feel of what they want to do against this 3-3 front.
It's the Texas line coach that named the UCLA defense the 3-3 go crazy. Here's Ricky Williams trying to go crazy outside. He got about 10 and then leveled Larry Atkins at the end of the play. He's a load. Williams, 1,000-yard back last year, and picks up 11 on his first carry.
Inside linebackers in this 3-3 front are going to do a lot of stunting and blitzing. This time McGee gets a little bottled up. You see Wilmer right there trying to get off a block, and if they cannot free up the inside linebackers when they're blitzing and stunting, I suspect a lot of off-tackle and end runs for this Texas offense.
Another Longhorn first down. They've moved it from their own 20 to the Bruins 44. Williams again. Ricky Williams. Give him 11 or 12 more. Tompkins tripped him up. But Williams, who had 155 yards against Rutgers, off to a great start. Texas ranked 10th in the country. Looking like it here on offense on their opening drive against the Bruins. Not quite 2 minutes in, and already the passing of backup quarterback and starter today, Richard Walton, and the running of All-American Ricky Williams has the Longhorns at the Bruin 32-yard line. Williams now will go out in the slot. He's an excellent receiver as well. Pressure this time, and Walton goes down. Larry Atkins came on a corner blitz, and it's a loss of 9 on the sack.
Larry Atkins is going to line up very much similar to the Rover in this defense, Brad. Sometimes he's a strong safety, sometimes he's playing man-to-man coverage, but you can see the difference. The UCLA defense will attack the spot in the pocket. Had James Brown been back there, they would have to come under more control trying to keep James in the pocket. Richard Walton will see the full brunt of that pass rush all day.
Atkins, the strong safety, is linebacker size, 6'4", 222. He forces a 2nd and 19. Walton got some pressure again. Going deep for McGarity. Fingertips, and he couldn't hold it. Great attempt, but he couldn't handle it. Javelin Guidry was back there with him, and we got a penalty marker in the Texas backfield.
This ball could not be thrown any better. Javelin Guidry had decent coverage on the play, making it almost having to be a perfect pass. It was, but it still wasn't caught. You know, I think they may be calling clipping on this play. There was a blitz from the outside, and the slot receiver clipped back on the play.
Illegal chop block, I
yes.
think.
Yeah, there it is.
Offense, 10 yards, spot.
John Laurie is our referee, a Big 12 officiating crew, and they walk this one back now into Texas territory, back at the 44-yard line.
You will see on the left-hand side of this screen right here a chop block that's going to come right there. That's what happens. They caught him below the legs. When you got a receiver, an offensive player outside of the box, they're not allowed to chop down.
So instead of being down at the 33-yard line of UCLA, it's back at the 44-yard line of Texas. 2nd and 34. Walton under pressure again. Fires high and wide.
Larry Atkins again was putting pressure on Walton. From the outside, there seems to be confusion already in this game plan for Texas. Walton, long yardage in Texas, and Rocky Long is not going to be shy about it. Here he comes again, and when 35 gets in there twice like that, you know you're having a problem in your protection scheme.
Atkins, junior out of Venice, California. Only 1 sack so far by the defense on the year. There's Rocky, the defensive coordinator, Rocky Long. But they've already got a sack today of Walton. Here's an inside handoff to Williams. Gary and I talked about there'd be a few draw plays, but UCLA wasn't buying any of that quick opener. Kenyon Coleman and Dan Juan McGee.
Talking with Rocky Long, the defensive coordinator for UCLA, he said, no big deal. 3-3 sometimes, 4-3 sometimes. We don't want to show exactly what we're going to line up in, but because we don't have as much experience in the secondary as we did a year ago, we're going to play a little more zone behind our blitz than we did a year ago.
So a good-looking opening drive by penalty and a sack is backed up in a punting situation for Mark Schultes. Kicking to Jermaine Lewis, who waits on it. And they're going to call a penalty there for not giving Lewis enough room to field that punt. And with that, instead of Texas having the football, which they think they do, it's going to go the other way.
Well, you can tell Lewis never was a catcher before because that bat swinging by him right there bothered him on the play. He saw this guy go right by him right there. That's inside. Quentin Wallace ran right by him, and Lewis just whiffed on it. He needed the knuckleball mitt that time.
He did. Needed a bigger glove.
Yeah.
So Wallace thought he had himself a muff punt recovery. It's not. And it'll be back at the 11-yard line. That's where they'll walk it off. And we've got a timeout with 11:17 remaining in the first quarter. Texas had something going but had to give it up. UCLA will have it when we come back.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back. Chili, baby back, rib. I want my baby chili, baby back, rib. Barbecue sauce. I want my baby back. Chili, baby back, rib. I want my baby chili, baby back, rib. Barbecue sauce. I got my baby back.
Chili's grills like no place else.
Meet Duke, cop. He loves his job. and the third door in his Chevy S10. It's one of a kind, just like Duke. Chevy S10, like a rock.
I needed a little tune-up before heading to camp, so I decided to look up some of the fastest guys in the game, thinking we could run some drills.
Gee, Mr. Naaman, I'm sure my dad would love to come over and play.
But it would just be two-hand touch, right?
Wow, you're still alive?
Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of their numbers. So I put on my new low-to-the-ground Zoom Air shoes and went out back with some of the neighborhood kids. Still got a few bullets left in the old gun.
They are about to have sex, so we should probably leave.
Dig it.
Donna and Greg, 1 week from Wednesday on ABC.
Welcome back to the game. Dean Blevins in Austin, where it is hot. You couldn't tell. It's going to be 96 degrees today. This little wind gauge tells me it's only 3 miles an hour heading into Texas's face right now. You know, everybody's making a big deal over the weather factor. Bob Toledo told me before the game, though, hogwash. He said, we practice in weather as warm as this. We played Tennessee last week in weather as warm as this. And one other interesting note, John Laurie, the referee, told us something I had never heard of. He said that if there's a sustained period of time where there's not enough water, they will call an official's timeout to water the guys down.
Here's the first play for UCLA.
Have to make sure Dean gets in line for water when they do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just to clean his shirt off. Chili's starting lineup for UCLA. Ferris, Sauter, Stewart, Myers, Overhauser, the right tackle, is the best of the group up front. Farmer and McElroy, the wideouts, and Mike Greaves, the tight end. And in the backfield, it's Cade McNown at quarterback. Skip Hicks is sensational. Cheyenne Caldwell's the man he follows, the fullback. And there's McNown, the junior. The left-hander on the spread formation wanted to hand it off, and they whistle this one dead. And with the penalty, we can set the defensive line for Texas. It's a good group up front. Maybe the best, Bob Toledo says, 2 inside guys that his team will face this year in Hampton and Akins. Kirkpatrick, Humphrey, and Renfro. Humphrey moved inside to middle linebacker. First start last week, 3 interceptions. Wallace, Babineau, McCowan, and Holmes round out the Texas defense in the secondary. And there's Chris Akins, and he's as strong as they come. And Hampton next to him is no piece of cake either for any offensive lineman. Second down and 14. Down in trouble. Got away from the pressure and found his fullback Caldwell. He made a juggling catch, and he's got it close to a first down. Aaron Humphrey, the guy that came storming in there. McCown kept his poise and delivered on the pass.
This UCLA offense is, I think the strength of their football team is their offensive line, which returns intact from a year ago. That feels good to any quarterback. But what McNown needs to do in this game, Brad, is make the easy plays, make the layups. He doesn't need any 3-pointers. Just make the 2-pointers on the layups, and he'll have a fine day.
Coach Wooden should be out here to help him. Here's a give. Hicks trying to break a tackle. And a nice job defensively to hold on by Dusty Renfro, the outside linebacker. And I think he prevented the first down. But we'll have to wait and see where they spot it.
You highlighted the fact that these 2 defensive tackles may be as big and as strong, but they're also pretty quick football players too, and that'll be the challenge for these guys. Sometimes it's Hampton, sometimes it's Akins. Either one, 96 or 64, and this time Chris Akins just runs right through the block that time by Chad Sauter in the backfield, and that's really what disrupts the play. And really, that's what Bob Toledo told us yesterday is we don't find any guys like that around Southern California. We would love to have defensive tackles that could push the inside of that line. That makes everything easy.
Well, they just measured, and by inches, first down UCLA. So Skip Hicks with a little extra pull there at the end of it, getting out of the grasp of Dusty Renfro, picks up UCLA's first down of the ball game at their own 33-yard line. We're 5 minutes in from Austin, Texas. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Dean Blevins with you on a hot day at Memorial Stadium. Hicks on a counter. And right into one of his blockers, bounced off. Akins will bring him down as he got to the 35, almost to the 36.
Very interesting about Skip Hicks. He may be the main reason that Ricky Williams came to Texas. He said, hey, I know this guy Hicks went to UCLA, so he said, I crossed that UCLA team right off my list. And also, when you look at college football teams, there's probably not 2 teams in college football that get more players from their own hometown state as Texas and UCLA, and their opposing running backs are from the opposite states.
That is different. So it's 2nd down and 7. McNown comes up firing, and another catch. This one by Hicks. Great receiver, and he's out to midfield. And he's the kind of guy, Gary, and we saw it even last week against Tennessee, the kind of player that McNown finds him out there in the flats, he can take it the distance.
Well, you know, everybody has their Heisman list, and if UCLA had won the first 2 games, I think Skip Hicks would be on everyone's Heisman list. He and Ricky Williams are very similar ball players. Both are able to run for tough yards and catch the ball when needed. So really, opposing running backs almost mirror images of each other.
So the first trip for UCLA into Longhorn land. They're at the 49-yard line of Texas with another 1st down. Remember, Texas on their opening drive took it down the field, then sputtered with a sack and a penalty. Let's see if UCLA can keep their offense in gear. McNown, quick drop, lays it out long. Incomplete, intended for McElroy. And he's their home run hitter. He's had over 100 yards receiving in both of the 2 games this year. McNown threw for 400 yards in last week's loss to Tennessee.
Very interesting formation that time for UCLA. McElroy lined up in the backfield that time right here and then shifted out and got a great matchup on the strong safety to the outside of the formation that time. Medina. Get a matchup, go deep. That's what offensive coordinators are paid to do. Now the quarterback has to keep the ball in the field.
Yeah. Keep Brown at a tailback right now, and he's going to get the handoff, and he's got a huge hole. Brown to the 40. Followed his blockers, skipped out there before Babineau knocks him off his feet, but he got about 9 yards.
When you're running the ball like that, you have to be having success with that Bermuda triangle inside Humphrey, Hampton, and Akins. And this time, a cut block puts Akins on Hampton on the ground. I'm sorry, and they gash it for 9 yards. They are having success because they're keeping this Texas defense off balance.
Well, for Keith Brown, that's positive yardage. He came in with 4 carries for -7 yards. He got 9 on that one. 3rd down and 1. Here he comes again, and again a big opener for Brown. And he's down to the 30-yard line. 1st down, UCLA.
Well, you can't beat experience in any league and in any game, and that's what the UCLA offensive line is doing right now. They're saying, hey, we played Washington State in a big Pac-10 game. We came back with Tennessee. I'm sorry, this burnt orange looks good, but it doesn't scare us one bit. We can run the ball, and McNown knows after matching up against Leaf and Manning that nothing scares him either.
1st down, UCLA at the Texas 30. And now it's Brown in the open field again. All the way to the 11-yard line. In fact, they give him the 10 before he's knocked out. Babineau's had to make 3 straight tackles. That's not a good sign when your safety's back there trying to drag down number 1.
Pretty simple to run the ball off tackle. You just pull your guard right here as Myers is going to come out and kick on a defensive back type. You just gash it, and really the key block is Mike Grieve. He blocks down and gets the big block that time on Bray Mosier, and you're just gashing this proud Texas defense.
Ties a career long run for Keith Brown. He just took it 21 yards. And it's 1st and goal, UCLA. Just under 8 minutes left in the quarter. No score. But the Bruins trying to change that. Skip Hicks checks back in at the tailback spot. Texas thinking blitz. The pitch to Hicks. Behind his blockers. And he got down to about the 6.
Well, you always like to have 1st downs, but maybe the toughest place to get a 1st down was when you get one right on the 10-yard line. Now you got 1st and goal, basically, from the 10-yard line, and you got to try to decide, if you're Al Borges, the offensive coordinator for UCLA, do we want to throw the ball on 3rd down because you're not likely to run it in here on 2nd down.
There you saw 8 out of 10 on the red zone conversion, 6 of them for touchdowns.
I think they're going to throw the ball right here. They got a nice matchup with young corners on the outside.
And they got a huge wide receiver in Farmer who's flipped to the bottom of your screen. Play fake. McNown wants to come back the other way. Touchdown. And it's McElroy. 5-yard scoring pass, but we got a penalty marker
Yeah,
there.
but I think it was defensive holding in the secondary that time on the tight end, Mike Green, and I think the touchdown's going to stand. Defense. Billy Klein, touchdown.
So UCLA takes it down the field, and this is the play that got them their first 6.
McElroy's matched up against Tony Holmes. Open all the way. McNown makes the easy throw. He makes the layup. And that was a beautiful drive by this UCLA team.
Was it ever? Saylor in for the point after. He's got it. 7 minutes and 46 seconds remaining first quarter. UCLA takes it all the way down and puts it in the end zone.
As a business traveler, you can choose from thousands of places to stay. But when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National Car Rental. Because when you join National's Emerald Club, you can bypass the counter, choose your own car, and get on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
Is it possible to insure a dream? At the Hartford, we help you do just that. With annuities, mutual funds, and financial plans designed to help you look forward to the future, not just protect you from it.
Isn't that a pretty sight?
So how many miles? 50?
90.
90?
90,000 miles. Dude, that's just getting broke in for Chevy.
Is that a scratch?
Scratches give character.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Women like character.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Whew, what'd you step in?
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. By Burger King, where you get your burger's worth. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline. And National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Were they tracing your route that you ran, jog yesterday right there?
I found a few hills in Austin, Texas. Pretty city. Not a very pretty start for the Longhorns defense as UCLA took it 77 yards in 11 plays, and they have had trouble getting going early in their first 2 ball games, and that's not the case today.
I think that was one of the big goals for Bob Toledo, was start out fast in this game and try to control and dictate the game.
They got down 16 to Washington State before losing by 3, and they got down 24-0 late in the first half against Tennessee and only lost 30-24.
And what that does is it takes McNown out of his game. It takes him out of his bootlegs and that's why he had so many sacks. If you can dictate the game and keep it close, you can have a much more valuable Cade McNown.
Guys, I was just listening to Bobby Jack Wright, the defensive coordinator, talking to his defense. He told the interior linemen that, guys, you're getting beat off the ball at the line of scrimmage. And his linebackers said, we had them in good position, but you can't get beat to the outside.
And Dusty Renfro, normally outside linebacker, is somebody that doesn't allow that to happen. But they have been taking it to the outside. It was for a good portion of that drive Keith Brown who did the damage on the ground. James Brown, his numbers last week before the injury, and here he was trying to warm up before the game.
There was a lot of talk about they would decide before the game whether James Brown would go. Well, actually, James Brown only took shotgun snaps, so you knew he was not going to play in this football game. But as we talked to John Makovic, and we kept a great secret, didn't we? He told us the day before that he was going to start Richard Walton.
Here's Walton, who had a good-looking drive going before penalties and a sack. Turned that around in the opening mark, Ricky Williams, and he's dropped for a loss. As Damon Smith comes in to make the hit, the nose man.
That's exactly what happened, and you just seen from Damon Smith exactly what this UCLA defense is all about. A lot of slanting and movement right there. Number David Smith right in the middle of this defense is going to slant to his right, kind of pinballs, and then says, whoa, here's the running back. I might as well tackle the guy.
It can give up big plays if they slant the wrong way and you got the blocking and the running backs go in the other direction. So far, UCLA is doing a good job. 2nd down and 12. And 7:01 left in the quarter. While we sort out this penalty, let's check in with John Saunders.
Brad, Maryland and Florida State in the ACC. Thad Busby didn't play that well against USC last week, but here, 59 yards with E.G. Green gets this ball down to the 1-yard line. That would set up a Feaster touchdown as Florida State gets on the board and leads now 10-0 over Maryland. Brad, back to you.
All right, John, and we'll be seeing Florida State next week in Death Valley against the Clemson Tigers. Battle of ACC powers. Bob Toledo, his club 7-up with 7 to go, first quarter. And Texas with a penalty, backed up to a 2nd down and 17. Play action, Walton's got time, going deep. McGarrity's out there, and he's dropped it. Would have had a touchdown. Oh. And a penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. That would have been an 88-yard touchdown. Let's see what the flag's about.
Wayne McGarrity is their best wide receiver on this football team. But that time, he looked like he got a little bit greedy before the ball got there. He's saying, I got him beat. Inside, Marcus Anderson cuts it off, misjudges it, and McGarrity puts it right off his 8 and tries to dribble it home for a touchdown. You can't do that.
Perfectly thrown pass by Richard Walton.
I don't think it would have counted anyway, Brad. I think Texas again had a penalty, and they are completely out of sync in this football game as they begin really haphazardly. You wonder if they're out of sync because of the new snap count and all this movement by that UCLA front.
Yep. It's got to be a little bit disconcerting, and a motion penalty again. So it would not have been a touchdown anyway.
I don't think that makes McGarrity feel any better.
No. Saw the numbers on McGarrity. He's a former running back a couple of years ago. Pretty good running back. Moved him to wide receiver.
But you know what that will do, though, Brad? It will back up that secondary, and you should be able to throw underneath it now.
3 wide out set here. Walton, and he's going right back to the same play. Brian White incomplete. And White had maybe a half step on Marcus Anderson, so they tried that a couple of times. Same spot on the field, same result, incomplete.
Marcus Anderson is a true freshman, and you can tell that John Makovic has circled him as a guy we're going to throw the ball deep on. Now, you know Marcus Harrison's going to go to the sideline and hear it from Rocky Long to say, hey, move back, would you? And, of course, John Makovic will play checkers with him and throw the ball in front of him as this game progresses.
Mark Schultes to punt again, this time from his own end zone. And that's Jermaine Lewis. Low snap. Got the kick away. Maybe lucky to have gotten it away. Lewis at the 49. And he cuts back to the near side. Texas trying to stretch it out. I think we're going to have an illegal block. Flags fly in at the 43-yard line on the return. Jermaine Lewis reversed his field when he did. I think one of his comrades may have had an illegal blocker. Did they call a face mask?
I thought it was on Jermaine Lewis that had the face mask, to tell you the truth. He kind of did a forearm right there and put it right into the face mask. That's what I saw, and I'm wondering if he won't get called for it.
Like a double face mask.
Oh, yeah, that's the old double face mask.
You're going to pull mine? I'm going to pull yours.
I think it's going to be on Lewis. What do you think? What's the bet here?
I don't know. There's sure a big conversation going on with the officiating crew.
Still going to be great field position for UCLA.
UCLA's had penalty problems so far on the season. How about offsetting penalties? How about that for a guess?
Well,
offsetting face masks. Has there ever been a call like that?
Whatever they do, let's hurry up.
They're going to call it. Oh, we are going to have offsetting, but it's not both face masks. One's an illegal block.
Well, they didn't see everything, did they?
Nope. Didn't quite see what we saw, but
now offsetting penalties like this, you wonder if they're going to have to punt the ball over again.
Against Texas, that penalty is declined. Blocked below the waist on the return against UCLA is a 10-yard penalty. Penalty accepted. First down, UCLA.
That was a little different, wasn't it?
Very.
I think what happened is UCLA, had they had taken the penalty, would have had to force Texas to re-kick again. They like their field position.
That's exactly correct. Good call. 6:26 left in the first quarter. UCLA by a touchdown.
Is that a new big, King?
No, it's a bag, Coach.
No, in the bag, son.
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what's a smart kid like you doing sitting on the bench? Get in there and play quarterback.
Really?
Like taking candy from a baby.
The new Big King from Burger King, flame broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Coach said I could play halfback.
Chevy Blazer with the exclusive driver control system. A little security in an insecure world.
Presenting the Valvoline Big Play Rebate and Sweepstakes. Save $4 on a case of Valvoline motor oil, and you could win one of 6 Mark Martin signature Ford Thunderbirds. Here comes Mark now. He's up and right on the money. Valvoline, the #1 choice of top mechanics.
I like being in control. With this new Dinerex, I control the cause of my dandruff every day.
New Dinerex Advanced Formula. Its medicine doesn't just treat the symptoms, it controls a leading cause of dandruff called Peel Valley.
Now that's serious control.
New Dinerex Advanced Formula.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of ABC Sports.
6:26 left in the quarter. UCLA by a touchdown. Don't forget, coming up Monday night, 9 Eastern, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys. Eagles won the last one. Remember, back in the first week of November of '96, Troy Vincent on a lateral off an interception took it 90 yards for a score. And of course, the Cowboys are coming off a setback to the Cardinals last weekend. First down, UCLA from the 47-yard line with a touchdown lead, and Skip Hicks cuts it up inside. Almost broke it. Woo. Dusty Renfro got the last shoe of Skip Hicks, or he's off to the races.
I guess, and he exploded. He was kind of patient, and then when he saw it, he took it. And he ran about 1.5 feet off the ground there with great forward lean.
Skip Hicks in that opener against Washington State had a career-high 190 yards and 4 touchdowns. And became the only UCLA player ever to have 3 4-touchdown games. He's a good one. Again, back on the Texas end of the field. The Bruins with a first down at the Longhorn 42. Hicks again. Hicks in the open field. Skip Hicks cuts back, and he's all the way to the 21-yard line. Just huge holes and a lot of green out there to run in for the Bruins.
Well, if you have a 6'9" offensive tackle and he's open, you got to follow him. Here's the big tackle, Ferris, right here. Why don't you follow the tall guy? 6'9", hey, he's open, I'll go with him. He comes around, gets the good block, and Hicks again is into the secondary, and that time he's very, very fortunate, Texas was, that he didn't sprint to the end zone.
Dusty Renfro, the sun was getting blocked out there by that lineman, and he couldn't even see Hicks, who's off to a great start. First down at the 21. Toss sweep this time. Mitch Brown is going to be dropped for a loss. Keith Brown, who had 3 nice carries on the opening UCLA touchdown drive, dropped for a loss on that one.
Gary Darnell was the defensive coordinator for Texas a year ago. Of course, he went to Western Michigan University as a new head coach. So Bobby Jack Reich, a longtime assistant, has taken over this defense. They've gone to a 4-3 front, and Bobby Jack says we are going to attack all game. Big reason for it, they have to stop the run. A year ago, Texas had 10 teams have a 100-yard rusher.
Second down and 12. McNabb, a straight drop, wants to throw a screen, lobs it out, and almost had it intercepted.
Humphrey almost got
blew it up.
Aaron Humphrey a year ago was a defensive end in this system. They moved him to linebacker, so the first game they're worried about his pass coverage. What does he do? He gets 3 interceptions.
And Aaron Humphrey said, you know, last year we sort of played read and react and talking about the new system. He says this year we get to get after it and just tear stuff up. Now that's a linebacker mentality. He's a beauty, and he's going to be a real good middle linebacker in years to come.
He's just learning how to do it right now.
Third down and 16. Texas fans come to life for the first time for its defense. McNow slants, broken up beautifully. Would have been a touchdown, except Aaron Babineau got a hand on it.
Well, that again is a great matchup that UCLA has. McElroy against Babineau, a strong safety covering Texas's fastest and best wide receiver. The ball was thrown too low. Had McNown thrown that ball up towards the end zone, I think it would have been a touchdown.
It's going to force a field goal situation. Chris Saylor hit one from 44 last week. And that's where he's going to try this one. Saylor sailed it right through the middle. So UCLA adds to its lead on a 44-yard field goal with 3 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bob Toledo says that's the way to start the game, guys. The Bruins off to a 10-0 lead. Another good-looking offensive march by UCLA. And again, they did it with huge chunks of yardage turned out by their tailbacks.
Well, John Mackett right now is saying, boy, I don't know here. This is a surprise to me. We look at two teams roll up yardage throwing the ball, being able to run the ball against this UCLA defense. We take great pride in our offense, and so far we have not been able to control this football game.
UCLA, a couple of disappointing losses to open the season. And earlier in the week, they were having a little trouble keeping their focus in practice. And Dean, Coach Toledo got their attention on that, didn't he?
Well, he really did. It was in the middle of the week, and he said it was toward the end of practice. And, you know, he thought the guys were a little sloppy, lacked some intensity, and he just called them up. Said, guys, that's it. We're not going to hang out here and do any more of that. So he sent them off, and he was angry, and they kind of got the message. I get a feeling, though, guys, and you were there when we talked about it, it may have been somewhat premeditated.
I think so.
A la Jimmy Johnson. Hey, if he's as successful as Jimmy Johnson, who knows?
That's right. Well, the motivational tool did get their attention. He said they had one of their best practices Thursday. And he had a big smile when he was telling us the story. He said sometimes, you know, things get blown out of proportion. We were down to about the last thing we were going to do at practice anyway. But
yeah, when they get out of sprints.
Yeah, they got out of stretching, I think. Well, they stretch it out to a 10-0 lead here, and now Richard Walton will have to try to get the Longhorn offense in gear. Third time that the Longhorns have had to start at their own 20-yard line.
I think they got to find Ricky Williams in this offense right now. He's their bread and butter, and he has to take the pressure off of Richard Walton.
There's the man, number 11. Again, UCLA, everybody up there thinking about a blitz. Is there motion again?
I think that was on Walton.
While we have the penalty, walked off. We walk off to John Saunders in New York. John?
Brad, you know the Fighting Irish struggled at home against Georgia Tech. Time now for your Burger King update. Billy Dickett, 27 yards to Edwin Watson. Gets this one down to the 1-yard line. Almost punches this one across, but the next play, Watson goes in for the touchdown. 7-0 Purdue over Notre Dame. Brad.
Gary, the Boilermakers, huh?
It's so long ago since I did that.
Another penalty on Texas. Sets it up first and 15. They got the penalty yardage back in about 3 more. Now another flag. See if we have a late hit on Walton.
Absolutely, Brad. You had it right on that time. And look who they threw in front of that time. They threw it quick out in front of the young Marcus Anderson. Two deep ones, quick out, and, well, I jumped up in the air, Coach. Ian Medejo says I just came down on him. I was way up there, you know.
That'll give Texas the automatic first down. Roughing the quarterback call.
Good play, but a bad sign. Ian Medejo was in there very quick for a 3-step drop.
Yeah, well, even the quick stuff, you're getting pressure. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, right now Walton comes into the huddle and says, guys, you know, I threw that in 1.8. I need at least 2.8.
To Chester Cross, the 39. First and 10.
First down for Texas at its own 39-yard line. Trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter. Ricky Williams, no place to hide. Goes down for a loss of 3. Nevadomski, the outside linebacker, came in and made the hit that time. And they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah, and they're also playing a lot of substitutes. Nevadomski's a backup linebacker, and we talked to Rocky Long about that, and he said we will play 7 or 8 people up front in our front 6. So make sure you have your depth charts right, guys, because I'm going to keep bringing fresh bodies in there.
That backs it up to the 36-yard line. Second down and 13. Walton went deep to McGarity on the last drive, and he dropped what could have been a touchdown pass, even though there was a flag on it. They'll keep it on the ground here. Williams hit for a loss again. This time it's Weldon Ford who comes flying in, the senior who I said led this team in sacks and tackled for losses last year, and he's got himself another one. ABC's college football is online right now with live real-time play-by-play displays from all of our games. All on America Online, keywords, ABC Sports. See, we got to change that.
Yeah, you just plug it in.
Yeah, you just
see, but I don't know if you have to give a space and that stuff. You just go ABC Sports. You don't need the space.
No, no spacing. Right now, the Longhorns' offensive line worried about UCLA's defensive spacing. Here they come after Walton again. Flushed and throws complete. McGarity's got it. Did he get the first down? Awfully close. Needed to get to midfield. And Walton, give him credit. With a lot of pressure, he threw a strike.
That was the classic example of a zone blitz that if you don't get the quarterback, there's huge vacancies in there. People are going to cut from the outside, linebackers from this side, and then you watch. You can see the free safeties in the middle of the field right here. There's huge hole to throw the ball. Walton gets just enough time to just throw it up, and that's real simple. There's only 4 people back there covering 53 yards of field.
Well, he's about McGarity with a catch. Walton's about a half foot taller than Bobby Lane, but he had a kind of a Bobby Lane looking jump pass there. First down at midfield. Throws outside to McGarity. Got him again. Picked up at 9 of the 41. And now Texas offense in gear one more time. They continue to work on Marcus Anderson.
Marcus Anderson is ready for one of those Lowry timeouts for water this time, because Anderson has been picked on all game. You can see the game plan developing. They threw deep early. Garrity said, hey, I dropped one, but this one's too good to drop, and I've set you up. And now you will see soon the double move on the freshman corner out there.
Remember, they've thrown 5 to Wayne. 3 of them he's hauled in. Long pass, he drops. Ricky Williams, nice little sidestep to backfield. He's only going to get about a half yard out of this, but a good-looking half yard. Waswa Serwanga from the secondary made the tackle.
You know, when you say nice little sidestep, that's pretty good when you're a running back. When you say behind the line of scrimmage, that's not very good. Ricky Williams, playing tailback this time, has to sidestep very early in this running play this time. Gets back basically to the line of scrimmage again, and that is a bad sign. Ricky Williams carried the ball 7 times once he got 13 yards in the game so far.
Looking to break Earl Campbell's rushing record.
1 yard at a time. That's going to be tough.
Well, he got enough for the first down. That was actually a short yardage situation, so he picked it up barely. Play fake, screen pass coming back. Williams, and running right through the would-be blockers for a great play there was Michael Wiley.
Beautiful play, Brad. You said would be. You could have used should be.
Yeah.
Because they should have been blocking Wiley. There were 3 of them standing there looking at a pretty pass from Walton, and it was set up perfectly. Michael Wiley, another one of the backup linebackers in the game so far, and he has fresh legs.
You take Wiley out of that play, it's at least 15 yards downfield before anybody gets close to Ricky Williams. But
the other interesting thing is Texas can't get off the left hash. They've been throwing the ball left so much. They've been on the left hash the whole game. There you see it. There they are on the ball right there on the left hash of the game. They haven't been over here. These people on this side are mad. They picked the same price. They haven't been able to see anything yet. They got their binoculars out.
They were excited they had seats on the 45, and then they didn't realize it was going to be 70 yards between them and the action.
Right, but see, the quarter's going to end, so they're going to get they're going to get the left hash. So those tickets are going to be very valuable here in just about 15 seconds.
Well, you see the time ticking off, and Richard Walton's going to wait on it. It'll give him a chance to talk to John Makovic as Texas hopes the second quarter brings them more luck than the first did. Bob Toledo's Bruins off to an excellent start through 15 minutes. End of 1 in Austin, and UCLA trying to pull a surprise over 10th ranked Texas, and they lead by 10.
Where's your father? You don't want to know. Here he comes.
Whoa! Whoa!
Watch out, Dad!
Yeah. Here he comes.
Introducing Chevy Venture, the only minivan that offers a remote control door. Pretty convenient, huh?
Dad.
What? The all-new Chevy Venture is here.
Let's go. Good idea.
National Car Rental presents the drive for the national championship. 1946, World War II had ended, and a record crowd flocked to Yankee Stadium with General Eisenhower in attendance to see #1 Army face #2 Notre Dame. In a hard-hitting battle that was contested with 4 Heisman Trophy winners, the defense dominated and the game ended in a scoreless tie. Both teams would end the season without a loss, but it would be Notre Dame's returning veterans who earned the 1946 national title.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At National Car Rental, we believe that when it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. Because at most major airports in America, National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental.
You're watching ABC.
Football on KABC TV Los Angeles, brought to you by American Airlines.
I was a little nervous.
Girls, we've got Ellie's father, who's with American Airlines.
The last thing I wanted
Mr. Anderson
was to come across as Ellie's dad. Ellie's dad? The digit head. You know, just talking technology. But they were into this stuff.
I want to go to London.
Everybody planned a trip on our website. And when I brought out the
beginning
seats,
to put the in-seat monitors into
it
the
was
planes.
great. They were really excited. It's funny. Back at the office, we're always thinking about the future. Today, I got to see it.
It's college football on ABC Sports.
Set to start the second quarter in Austin, Texas. The Longhorns trailing UCLA 10-0. And don't forget, coming up, college football on ESPN2 tonight. That'll be a good one. Stanford and North Carolina, both those teams with high aspirations, not only in their conference, but North Carolina thinks maybe they're national title contenders. And then Utah and TCU. That's a doubleheader on the Deuce coming up tonight. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Dean Blevins from Austin, Texas, where the Longhorns trail as we start the second quarter. Walton out of the shotgun on 2nd and 14, and down he goes. Lost the football. And I think the Bruins have covered it. It's Kenyon Coleman.
Number 99, Kenyon Coleman.
I think Jason Brown was the guy that knocked it out of Walton's hand that time. Decent coverage downfield made Walton just hold on a bit more than he wanted to this time. He's back of the shotgun, takes a long drop, and I think that's too deep of a drop from the shotgun.
Especially on 2nd and 14.
Absolutely. When you have that deep of a drop from shotgun, you get back there 11, 12 yards. The ball is on the 45. Ricky Williams was who he was trying to go to. Williams was covered, and then he just waved that ball, and that is a cardinal sin for a quarterback to get that ball away from your body.
At that point, he'd be about 27 yards away from the first down when he
I couldn't even throw that far. I'd have to move up.
Octavius Bishop, maybe the biggest guy on the field, is taking up a portion of it right now as he's shaken up on that last play. Big left tackle. And he is a little woozy. 325-pounder. Coming off slowly. The fumble recovery by the true freshman Kenyon Coleman at the 43.
You know, it was 2nd down this time. Ricky Williams on the left right here. I think they were just trying to set up a pass to Ricky Williams right here, but it's great coverage to the outside. He's trying to get to the middle of the field. You can see nobody gets to the middle of the field, and Walton has to eat it.
And now UCLA's offense, great shape. They'll take over at the 43-yard line. McNown fires back to Hicks, who's wide open. Hicks inside the 20, cuts back. And he's going to score. Touchdown, UCLA. We told you he's dangerous on the swing pass. He just took it 43 yards for the touchdown.
What a call from Al Borges, and great protection, because this was designed to go back to Skip Hicks the whole way. Cade McNown fakes the ball to Hicks to start the play right here. And then he waits for Hicks to go wide and go up the field. And again, a layup throw, Brad. This is not a hard throw. Your guy's wide open. Let's just make it catchable. He had it matched up that time against Humphrey, the middle linebacker, and then Skip Hitz showed that he's got those strong legs to take it into the end zone.
It's good.
And Chris Saylor's extra point is good. UCLA shocking the Texas Longhorns on their home field. Hicks takes it the final 5 the hard way. It's 17-0.
Plymouth Neon. Plymouth Breeze. Plymouth Voyager. Plymouth Prowler.
Al, what are you doing?
A lot of what I do goes on behind the scenes. You know, most people aren't exactly on a first-name basis with their State Farm claim representative. They know their agent, but they probably don't know that their agent has a partner, that we're a team, that we've worked on hundreds of claims together. But people take notice when a claim is handled promptly, and you won't get too many complaints if you just treat them fair, because that's when people appreciate what we do and who they're insured with.
Think we're ready?
30 run-throughs?
Yeah.
Room 708 wants to win the account that will make him famous. Room 610 wants to fix the typo she just found. Room 315 wants to iron his meeting clothes, including his socks. Room 412 wants a pizza. Business services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you can do anything.
From the man who brought you NYPD Blue, a new drama, a new angle.
I'll be in and out like Zorro.
Security specialists, Belushi, Remar, total security in 2 weeks.
Certainly no slow start for UCLA today. Bruins 17-0 on the 10th ranked team in the country.
The only thing different now is the Bruins would like this to be the second half.
That's right.
Because they got a long way to go in this game.
Long way to go on a hot day.
And I do disagree with Bob Toledo. I think this is different weather in Texas than it is in Southern California. And it'll eventually, if Texas puts some pressure on UCLA, will play a part in this football game.
You saw a one-play scoring drive after Kenyon Coleman's fumble recovery. McNabb hooks up with Hicks for the touchdown. Saylor, his kick goes out of bounds. And that'll set up Texas with good field position at the 35.
Brad, let's show a prescription for disaster here. Here's the fake to Skip Hicks, right there. Now, the middle linebacker on this play, Aaron Humphrey, has Skip Hicks. He says, there's the fake. Now he looks back for 1/2 second. That's it. He's beat. If you don't run with the remaining back and man-to-man, that ball's going to be thrown and you're going to get picked on the whole game. Aaron Humphrey, just his first year at middle linebacker, is still paying the price.
He almost intercepted a screen pass a couple series ago. He had 3 interceptions, as we told you, in the opening win over Rutgers. There he got burned, and now it's 17-0, and Texas has got to come up with something offensively. Remember, James Brown, if you're just joining us, did not start due to a bad ankle. This is Richard Walton, his backup, the junior, at the controls. Walton rolls off the play fake, throws back across his body, and it's intercepted. Larry Atkins, and Atkins might take it for another UCLA touchdown. He's brought down at the 2-yard line.
Jeffrey Clayton made the play to save a touchdown, but Richard Walton did, I think, John Makovich's biggest nightmare. He thought he was James Brown. He's not James Brown. A bootleg play. And again, we talked about what Walton had to do. He has to make the easy plays. He's just a start. You can see he tries to throw across his body. Atkins reads it very simply that time. Runs through Walton's arm tackle, and Atkins, I think, thought he was going to go in.
Atkins, his 3rd interception already on this 3-game season for UCLA. He had a sack earlier in the game as well, so he's having a brilliant performance on the Bruins defense. 1st and goal for the offense now inside the Texas 5. McNabb got a man wide open, touchdown. Mike Grieve, the tight end. It's 23-0.
I think UCLA fans right now are wondering where was that play against Washington State. because if they win that game, they're sitting probably as a top 15 team.
John Makovic's got a top 15 team, and right now they're getting thumped at home.
What a wonderful throw by Cade McNown this time, because he had pressure all over him as they were going all over Hicks that time.
Chris Saylor, the extra point up and good. And unranked UCLA, 24. 10th ranked Texas, nothing. Grieve, the tight end, is wide open.
Got a taste for something new? Introducing Domino's new pesto crust pizza. Zesty pesto made from sweet basil, parsley, and savory garlic, kneaded right into the dough. Baked, then brushed with pure olive oil, sprinkled with Romano cheese for a truly authentic flavor. New pesto crust pizza, only from Domino's. Try it, or any large one-topping pizza for $9.99 and get a second one topping for $5.99.
Domino's, hot wow now. Hi, at Gateway, getting the computer you want is simple. Let's say this is your basic computer. You want lots of memory? Sure. Great speakers. Maybe more memory. No problem. A big monitor? Maybe not that big. The new Pentium 2 processor. See, we build your computer exactly how you want it. So, it ends up as individual as you are.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium 2 processor. Call 1-800-GATEWAY. We'll build one for you.
Plymouth Neon Coupe with a zippy 2-liter 16-valve engine, touring suspension, a 5-speed tranny, and 132 wild ponies. It's a pretty hot little number. Plymouth Neon Coupe, 9.3 for starters. One clever idea after another. That's Plymouth.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Plymouth. One clever idea after another. That's Plymouth. Gateway 2000 direct personal computers. By the Hartford, bring it on. And Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites. We believe when you're comfortable, you can do anything. Right now, UCLA has got to think that they can do anything they want with 10th ranked Texas, the way things have gone here in the first quarter and change. Skip Hicks on a swing pass, and he takes the last 5 yards, dragging Longhorns with him. And then one play and a touchdown to Grieve. So that's 14 points in about 20 seconds.
See, anytime you get 14 points in 15 seconds, you're doing pretty good. See, it's got to be at least, you're in serious trouble when you have that 15 seconds difference right there in touchdowns. You know, speaking of gone, Richard Walton may be gone.
Might see another quarterback for Texas. We'll wait and see what John Makovic's got on his mind after Saylor's kick. And this one is a low line drive. Garrity will field it at the 8. And works his way up to about the 30. Let's check in with Dean.
Guys, the crowd, as you can imagine, is just stunned with the start of this football game. Starts a basketball game. Look at the score. It's sort of like a UCLA basketball game of old. But these guys, the players, are not stunned. I was really taken aback a few minutes ago when, after they jumped up 10-0 and then 17-0, there was a real business-like attitude. None of the noise talking and high-fiving. There's a lot of individual coaching and a lot of listening going on.
Stay next to that Mr. Dino.
Gotcha. It's already spraying it a few times.
First down just outside the 30, and a new quarterback in. And this is Marty Cherry, the sophomore to Texarkana. And as we said, that would be the man they'd go to if Walton had an injury or problems. Let's see how he does. First down, throw complete out to McGarity. And he'll be collared at about the 40-yard line, and a flag flies in late out of a late hit, which would tack on extra yardage to the play. Marcus Anderson, the guy they were picking on, and I think he's going to have a penalty call against him as well. We're just a minute into the second quarter, and if you're just joining us, 24-0.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15 yards from the spot, automatic first down.
You know, I know these guys don't get paid in college, but right now Marcus Anderson's asking for a raise because every play has been to the left side of the field. He's probably looking over at Rocky Long right now and saying, Coach, could you put a safety out here and help me a little bit?
So there's the shove that got him the extra 15. He's asking for overtime, if nothing else. We know that.
Now, see, the fans on the Texas side of the field are saying, oh, this is nice. Now they're on our side. We can watch.
Left hash the other way. That's right. So first down, Texas at the UCLA 45. Ricky Williams is yet to get started. Let's see if he can here. Nope.
Number 11, Ricky Williams.
Josh Webb. One of the Webb brothers, Micah and Josh Webb. Defensive tackles both for UCLA.
Josh Webb is only playing because Darren Klein is not.
College football on ESPN tonight. Syracuse will take on 19th ranked Virginia Tech with another swarming defense for the Hokies. And it'll be LSU seeing what they can do without Kevin Falk to take on Mississippi State tonight. An SEC battle. That's a twin bill on ESPN tonight. Ricky Williams, Jared Coleman in the Texans backfield. Pump fake by Cherry. Wants to go deep. Got a man. McGarity, and he didn't haul it in again. I think he should have had that one too. Guidry and Whitfield back there in double coverage, but McGarity had him beat.
Well, I thought they'd go the double move to the left side of the field, and maybe they should have on that one, because you've got the other guy who says, hey, I haven't had any action all day. Why should I bite on a double fake? But I do anyway, just to make it. Javelin Guidry does, and a poor throw really on the play. That ball was late, and it should have been caught on the same play. Texas really struggling in this football game. Garrity has really had 2 drops.
And it's third down and 10. There's McGarity. He's caught a few, dropped a few today. Terry comes back the other way, and it's intercepted. And it's Marcus Anderson, and he says, now you can pick on me all you want. I've got an interception.
Brian White that time is the one who ran the route, and I'll tell you, Cherry threw a good ball. That time Marcus Anderson just ran a better route than his wide receiver. You'll see it. Brian White comes out, and on the outside, Anderson says, hey, I'm not fooled. I don't think you're going long. And he sat on it, and he came up with the interception. That's a great play by the true freshman. Bob Toledo said, my corners are not going to get a lot of rest. They better be ready to run.
So Marcus Anderson with the interception, and UCLA at offense, the 36-yard line with a 24-0 lead. Comes a Longhorn blitz, and Hicks trying to run through it. He's tough.
Beautiful lean when he runs the ball. He uses that other arm to attack the ball, the tackler each time. And really, the first guy he kind of runs through. He's got great body lean.
His goal, he said, would be 2,000 yards on a season.
He's not going to make it today. He may have 150, but 2,000.
Only Marcus Allen in Pac-10 history has ever done that. But Hicks had a brilliant campaign last year, over 1,000 yards, scored 20 touchdowns, 17 of them on the ground. He got one today on a swing pass. Here's a quick pass to McElroy. He's out to the 45-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. Hector brought him down defensively.
McElroy is willing to catch the short pass in this game. Eventually, he's going to get the long pass. He has the best yards per catch average in the history of UCLA, ahead of a guy named Flipper Anderson.
Willie Flipper Anderson.
Pretty good one, huh?
Over 20 a catch for McElroy, career-wise. His 21st birthday coming up on Monday. Third down and a yard. Third time it's been 3rd and 1 today for UCLA. And they're going to throw on this one. They got a man wide open. It's a tight end in the secondary. And Creason's got it all the way down to the 19-yard line. Gabe Creason, there was nobody within 5 yards of him.
Is that a John Makovic call? 3rd and an inch right there. Here's Creason right here. He's going to run right by everybody. Very simple. It's the Bart Starr 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
And this time the secondary person, I think it was McCown, was just getting out of the way. And Joe Walker kind of run down the big tight end to make a play. But when you have your safety trying to dodge the big tight end, you know you're in trouble.
Creason, a sophomore out of Northridge, California, and that is his career-long reception, 36 yards. And now it's Hicks waiting for his blockers, and now a burst of speed, and he got about 7 out of what looked like nothing.
Casey Hampton that time, the big defensive tackle, 300-pound guy runs all that way out there, and he thinks he's got Skip Hicks in his sights. Hicks makes a little wrinkle this time and just runs right by him. Big 64, he gets by his guy, wrap around, he runs down the line, gets through Sean Galley. I got him, 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 I ain't got him. Oh, boy.
Boy, that was picture perfect running by Hicks to follow his blockers. 51 yards for Skip. Here he is on a toss sweep. And again, got around one tackler and he's got a first down. And he carries Donald McCowan out of bounds, and a flag flies in on the sideline. They go all the way to the track over there.
I hope they're not calling this hitting late out of bounds. I mean, Hicks carried him out of bounds. What's the guy supposed to do? Let go?
Skip nodded yes to that question.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Defense. First down.
Ah, come on. He's just making a tackle. Humphrey comes across. Hicks has broken about 30 tackles so far. Humphrey says he might have broken that tackle.
The track is extremely close on that particular side of the field, but this does not look like a late hit by either one of these guys.
Yeah,
He's just staying with it across the chalk line.
I mean, right to the letter of the law, I guess he did, but boy, that makes it pretty tough.
Yeah, it's a little tight. Skip Hicks, 56 now on 9 carries. Has a touchdown on a reception. Will he get one on the ground? On first and goal, not this time. Down to the 1-yard line. Dusty Renfro.
He looks tired to me. That's probably a bad word to say to UCLA fans.
That's right, because he was down near the 1-yard line against Washington State, and he was tired enough to not be in the game when maybe they would have won that game.
And that probably is the most controversial call for so far in this football season for UCLA and Bob Toledo, really. And you know, he gets paid the big bucks, so he's going to have to take it. But that's probably not having Skip Hicks in there has probably been the biggest controversy Bob has had to have so far in his coaching career at UCLA.
Second and goal, UCLA with a 24-point lead. Skip Hicks.
He's tired.
He is tired. He won't get there. Dean Blevins is down there and probably can tell more than we can how tired he might be. Dino?
Well, you guys are exactly right. Bob Toledo, when you mentioned a minute ago, Brad, that Skip Hicks looked over and said no, what he was saying no to is Bob said, Skip, you tired? Are you okay? And he said, yep, you want to come out? And he said no. So I think you're right, though. He's a little beat up, a little tired. Not beat up,
right.
Tired.
I'm surprised that UCLA doesn't take a timeout. This will be a huge touchdown for UCLA to go up 31 points, and I'd want my fresh people out there.
They've got Farmer and McElroy as the wideouts both to the top of your screen on third and goal at the 4-yard line. And now McElroy in motion. Farmer, huge target over there on that side. They throw underneath, and it's McElroy. Did he get in? Yes, touchdown. His second of the day.
McElroy went in motion, came back, and McNown again threw a beautiful ball. This looked like an easy throw. You got a wide receiver out there. McElroy's going to come in and then come back out like that. You'll see him, and that's just enough to get him moving at the snap. Now watch how good this ball is thrown by McNown. He catches it right on the run, and he just stretches it, breaks the plane with the ball before his knees touch the ground at 6 points.
Saylor, the extra point is good. 9 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first half that has been dominated by the Bruins of UCLA. They lead 31-0.
The Chrysler Town and Country LXI. Car and Driver's 10 Best. An Automobile Magazine All-Star. Tied as J.D. Power and Associates' most appealing minivan. Winner of Strategic Vision's 1997 Total Quality Award for Best Ownership Experience. And now, get $1,000 cash back. The Chrysler Town and Country LXI. It's nothing short of everything. What's new in your world?
Got a great practice today. I know you guys are hungry, but this new Big King gave me an idea for a new play. So listen up. Quarterback takes off tackle, puts the ball, the guard pulls, we hand off to the wingback. Wingback is up the gut for a touchdown. Any questions?
Coach, can I eat my blocker now?
The new Big King from Burger King, plain broiled with 75% more beef. It's like a Big Mac, except it's bigger and tastes better. And right now, you can get one for just 99 cents.
Got any more new plays, Coach?
Becoming involved in the university added a lot to my character, added a lot to my love for the university, and added a lot in my confidence and belief in myself. I'm in a position now where I can help cultivate or help someone else develop their own leadership skills. What I hope everyone realizes is that at University of Texas, you can get as good an education outside the classroom as you do inside. The faculty here at the University of Texas at Austin really challenge you to be the best you can be, and that's probably the most important component of a college education.
31-0 UCLA. John Makovic wondering what's hit his team. Bob Toledo with a smile with 9:26 left in the second quarter.
Well, maybe a lot of
Next Saturday, college football, America's biggest road show on ABC continues. Most of you will see 5th-ranked Nebraska, number 3 Washington. We'll be down at Clemson and Death Valley, Florida State. And the Clemson Tigers, Arizona, Ohio State, Iowa, Iowa State. Check the local listings for the game on your ABC station, and the game's available from your cable operator. We're going to get Gary down there. His first trip to Death Valley. Get you some biscuits and gravy and some grits on Saturday morning. Then we'll go over there and watch all those people with the paws painted on their faces against Florida State. That'll be a big ACC game.
Well, wherever Florida State goes in the ACC, it's a big game. But Clemson might be one of the few teams that can really give them a challenge.
Saylor to kick. McGarity at the goal line. Finds a crease, gets up the sideline, and out to the 40. Saylor had to knock him out of bounds. So McGarity gives Texas good field position at the 40-yard line. McGarity trying to do it as a return man and a receiver. He's had a couple of drop passes today as well, but Texas having trouble with that 6-man front or whatever that 3-3 defense is.
That moving Aniba front there, every time it does, it's always moving. There's never standing straight.
There you
never
see
in
it.
the same spot.
They're all over the place. That's got to be tough to block. Ricky Williams follows his blockers pretty well this time. And Ricky got about 6. Nevadomski, the outside linebacker over there to make the hit.
We really have to hand it to that defensive front for UCLA, considering that UCLA is playing without their best defensive football player, Sean Williams, the All-American safety, injured in practice, his ankle, is not able to go in this football game, and Glenn Tompkins has taken his place. But a very, very efficient front 7 or 6 or 8 or whatever they're lining up in.
Whatever the number. And here comes the heat again. 3rd sack of the day. This one's Damon Smith, the nose man, who swarms Marley Cherry.
That time, Ryan Feebigger, the center for Texas, was turning around and pointing to either Ben Adams or Roger Raisler and saying, "That was your man." Feebigger, number 58, turns, and nobody comes down that time. The left guard, I think it should have been Raisler, should have made the play. Texas is trying to go with a little bit of a unique blocking scheme to pass protect, and so far it is not working. Rocky Long, defensive coordinator, has John Makovic's offense completely out of sync.
So many negative yardage plays today for Texas, including that one that hasn't backed up. 3rd down and 12. Derek Lewis, the tight end, in motion. Here comes a pressure from the other side, and Cherry's going down again and lost the ball. Scooped up by UCLA. It's Damon Smith. And he's inside the 20 on the fumble recovery. And the Bluebirds are out for the first time in Austin.
This time the sack was from Eric Whitfield, the rover. UCLA came into this game. He's at the bottom of your screen right here, coming in. Number 6, unblocked. Brad, you could make that sack coming in unblocked. Put a big number 6 on and some shoulder pads. And again, Texas's scheme in this game is not working, to be frank. John Makovic is really the guru of offense, but right now, his game plan is out of sync. Guys are running free constantly.
And if they allow another touchdown, you would think the game is totally out of hand, because Keith Brown here on the carry. You know, you start to question, do we possibly see James Brown? Would they go all the way back to who would have been the starting quarterback? But
you know, Brad, I think if this game maybe was 21-0 at a half,
right,
you might see James Brown. And I think now if you're John Makovic, you're saying, I can't afford to get James Brown hurt. I see my other 2 quarterbacks. I might have to write this game off.
Right.
And say I've got a bye next week.
Yeah.
Let's make sure he's healthy for the Big 12 championship.
The Longhorns have an open date next week, and then they face Rice to start the Big 12 campaign. So they were hoping to get by UCLA without their starting quarterback, and right now they're in a huge hole, 31-0. Here's a long stretch handoff to Brown, trying to get to the corner, and that cuts back and does pretty well with it. Got down to the 10-yard line. Gary talked about Sean Williams, probably the best defensive player for UCLA. He is here, and he's being a head cheerleader over there, trying to get his teammates fired up. We can get a shutout. You gotta love that.
First you think, let's see if we can keep the game close. Then you say, let's try to win, and then you start thinking shutout. You know, it's a logical progression. You know?
Well, right now they're pitching a shutout with under 6.5 to go in the half. 3rd and 2, a little bit of option here. McNown to Brown on a toss, and he's got the first down. 1st and goal near the 5-yard line. Dusty Renfro finally tracked down Keith Brown, the sophomore.
Well, Al Borges, the 2nd-year offensive coordinator, came from Oregon. He really is on this game right now. He has shown Texas everything. And I think Al's saying right now is, I've finally got a game that I can use my whole game plan.
Don't have to play comeback.
Right. I can use my quarterback who can do a lot of different things. I can use my running backs. I can use my tight ends. This is a lot better calling plays.
1st and goal at the 5. Skip Hicks is the tailback and gets the call. And he's down close. Got about 4.
Boy, that's embarrassing that it's a Texas front 7 to be able to run the ball from the 5-yard line down to the 1-yard line. That was, again, great blocking by that front 5 unit. They are pushing Texas all over the football field now.
A few fresh bodies come in defensively. An extra blocker in for UCLA. It is 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. 3 tight end set for the Bruins. And Caldwell and Hicks in a dual set. Hicks didn't get there. Nice job defensively. Cedric Woodard there, number 50, along with Akins, Hampton. They all combine on the stop. Well, the goal line stand is a near necessity, really, when you look over that clock with 5 minutes to go in a half and trailing 31-0.
Well, you got a lot of big beef in there, and what you're trying to do is just get standstills up front. This time Woodard comes through and busts in and gets a tackle right by the ankles. So what do you do for UCLA? You can call any play you want here.
3rd and goal. And it's a touchdown again to the tight end Green. Well, a beautiful play fake. Skip Hicks went airborne. McNown just rolled out and lofted it to a wide open tight end for the score.
When you establish the tailback like Skip Hicks has been established, then you can fake to him, and that's exactly what Al Borges calls here. Fake it to Hicks. McNown comes out, and he could have walked in the end zone this time, but you know what he says? Better stats if you throw the touchdown pass.
His 3rd of the day.
Pass.
3 touchdowns for McNown.
Hicks goes up in the air. McNown comes out and says, why not throw it?
And the extra point is good. UCLA dominating. They lead 38-0.
This wedding was paid for with the help of mutual funds from MetLife. Whatever you're saving for, MetLife can review your options, explain the risks, and help you decide what can work best for you. We'll help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
Hey, stranger, where you been?
I don't smoke anymore.
Sorry. I mean, it's great. How'd you do it?
Nicoderm CQ.
CQ? Isn't that the patch with the, 3 steps?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing the steps.
While Nicotrol has only 1 step, CQ has 3. So you gradually step down your dose the way doctors and pharmacists prefer.
Steps, Dad. It's the way to go.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
Inside your car's fuel system lurk dark forces that can spread their dirt and filth. So if you have a dirty fuel system, use STP Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Dirt has met its match. STP Complete Fuel System Cleaner.
Hodges Mitchell on the kick return for Texas brings it out to the 28-yard line. I may have said going to break McNown's third touchdown pass of the day. He's thrown 5 touchdown passes today, so I don't want to.
Well, he had 3 perfect spirals, and the other 2 were little knucklers. I think that's what you were talking about there.
What an unbelievable first half. Look at those numbers.
So. 10 out of 12, and you know, a lot of them have been very easy throws, and I think that's what Bob Toledo was looking for from Cade McNown, is making the easy throws. But you get 5 touchdowns out of 12 throws. That's pretty nice.
Ricky Williams, nowhere to go. UCLA defense is fired up as its offense is now. Serwanga and McGee got in there to make
and
the
Ricky
sack.
Williams is not getting up quickly either.
Ricky slow to get a penalty marker down too. See if there was a late hit.
Maybe face mask.
Personal foul. Defense. 15 yards. Face foul. First down.
It was.
15 yards. Wow.
That's a tough one. They got a hold of the cage and wouldn't let go.
You know, I don't know where Dean Blevins is on the sideline right now, Brad, but he better be careful. John Macvick's going to put him in the game if he's not careful.
Well, I don't think he's quite that desperate, but just to make sure, Gary, I'm on the other side.
There you go. That's pretty interesting. Sit down a meeting with you guys. 3 quarterbacks sitting there talking. Right now, 38-0 with 4:18 left in the half. Marty Cherry is the second Texas quarterback, and of course, James Brown, the normal starter, out with the bad ankle. Cherry throws on the run a mile over the head of Wayne McGarity. And we check in with John Saunders. John.
Teams, the matchup to watch, quarterback Chad Hutchinson of Stanford against the pressure defense of North Carolina. Now that pressure starts outside.
We're getting back to John and Todd at halftime, which is 4 minutes away. 2nd and 10 here. Texas trying to get something started from their own 43-yard line. Their opening drive of the ballgame took them right down the field, and they had a sack and a penalty, and they have really never recovered from any of that. Cherry a quick slant, and McGarity gave up on that play a little bit. Brian Wilmer might have been the reason he did. I don't know, but he stopped short of hauling that one in.
Well, Marty Cherry is getting action. It's his 3rd year in the program, but he's a high school quarterback that ran a wing T offense, so he doesn't have a lot of experience playing quarterback in a passing attack. And right now, with the score 38-0, he's going to gain a lot of valuable experience.
Well, I guess. 3rd down and 10. 3 wide out group for the Longhorns. And a counter to Ricky Williams, trying to get in the open field and tripped up. Nice job by Brian Wilmer, who makes the tackle and prevents the first down. Wilmer, the most valuable defensive player on the UCLA team a year ago.
As little as the UCLA defense has played in this game, and the way Rocky Long has kept fresh bodies available for his defense, I now think that the Heat will be no factor.
Yeah.
How about that? Is that being safe?
I think so.
38-0. See, that's that expert analysis. It takes years. It takes years to come up with that stuff. You just can't try that. You just can't just.
You don't try that.
Out.
Don't try that at home. Here's the punt. Schultes. And it drops inside the 5 and gets to the end zone. 54-yard kick, but it'll come back out to the 20-yard line.
You ever start saying things, something, and right in the middle you say, this is the dumbest thing I've ever said.
It's not going out.
You got to finish your sentence, you know? It's like one of those interceptions. You know, just finish it out, make the tackle, and come on.
Well, this guy's got his defense making a lot of tackles. He is one intense defensive coach, Rocky Long, former defensive coordinator at Oregon State. And the offense in gear thanks to Cade McNown's 5 touchdown passes here in the first half. Here's Pete Brown. And he got about 3. It was Donald McGowan who made the tackle.
You know, I think a lot of the fans are saying, especially the fans that bought tickets and brought guests, they're saying, yeah, I know the first half didn't go well, but wait till you see our band. Our band has a great halftime.
And we are a great second half team.
They're all going to stay here. I'll tell you right now. I say, wait till you see we got the world's largest drum, and they just put on a great show.
77,203 are here. Here's a little quick opener to Brown again. And he gets out to about the 24-yard line. We've been talking about UCLA doing this defensively without their best defensive player, and he's with Dean on the sideline.
Free safety Sean Williams, a terrific player, and you were chiding the Texas fans a minute ago saying, hey, I decided to sit this one out. That wasn't really the reason.
No, that's not really the reason. Unfortunately, I've been injured in practice, and I'm just trying to rehab my ankle and get it back and get healthy. Hopefully, I'll be back by Arizona.
Sean, would you ever imagined in your wildest dreams it'd be 38-0 now?
Probably not, but I knew we had a great team, you know, and I know from the last 2 games we played previously that we did a great job and we played tough. We just were a couple plays short of really winning some of those games. But, I mean, to see this at 38-0, I mean, it is a surprise.
You expect to be back in 2 weeks. You're off next week. Then you have Arizona. This team can regroup, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think we'll regroup and we'll get after it and have a great season after this, and I hope to be out there in Arizona.
Thanks, buddy. Good luck.
John Williams likened to Kenny Easley and Don Rogers and Eric Turner and James Washington and all the great safeties that have played over the years at UCLA. A sarcastic roar from the crowd just went up because UCLA is forced to punt. And it's Saylor kicking to Brian White, backpedaling on it at the 23-yard line. And he got a 9 or 10 on the return before he goes out of bounds. And 1:46 remaining in the half as we check in with John Saunders. John?
Coming up on Valvoline Halftime 97, we'll have all the day's scores and highlights, including the big one, Colorado at Michigan.
Yeah, starting this late in the season didn't hurt Michigan at all. Tremendous performance by their defense today. Really put a lot of pressure on John Hessler.
Wolverines got that win. We'll have that and more. It's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 97. Right now, let's take you back.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you in a minute and 46 seconds. 38-0, the shocker that's going on right now here in Austin, Texas. Cherry almost had it picked off.
Yeah.
And Brendan Iammendejo would have been off to the races.
Iammendejo was picking cherries on that one because he was ready to go with it. And I think right now, you know, if you're a Richard Walton family member, fan, or somebody who knows him, you're saying, well, you know, Richard did this well. Why don't they go back with Walton? I think that throw, when Walton threw against his body, was just enough to say John McEnroe would say, I'll teach him a lesson. You do what you can do on the football field. You're not going to play, son, if you make those types of throws.
Second down at 10, the 32. Out of the shotgun, Cherry. Here comes the heat. Just barely got rid of it, and he got leveled. And it was Iammendejo again who just let him have it just as soon as he let go of the football. Tonight, coming up on ABC, 77th Annual Miss America Pageant, live from Atlantic City. And this year, 2-piece swimsuits allowed. We've been waiting on this. All for one of the musical guests tonight when Miss America is crowned on ABC.
Well,
who's the girl from Vermont that's got the navel ring or whatever?
Well, you got to figure that Miss Texas and Miss California will be in the final 10, don't you?
Right now, that the semifinalists, I think UCLA's got the big lead here at 38-0. Talent competition is going to the Bruins so far. Cherry hit as he threw, but he delivered one to McGarity out of bounds and a first down at the 46-yard line. That was a tough throw, and he got it down there.
That was a wonderful throw that time by Cherry. Came out of the pocket. The protection is not working up front. So what do? You get him out of the pocket and see if we can get outside the rush. Cherry gets hit just as he lets this ball go that time, but throws a strike downfield.
To the 46, a first down. See if Texas can get something going here before the half. 1:32 left, and they trail by 38 points. This is a draw play on a shotgun formation, and Jeffrey Clayton got a short game. Ricky Williams, it has not been his half today.
Ricky Williams, a good receiver coming out of the backfield.
This pass complete, diving catch right near the first down marker to Brian White. Let's see if he got enough for it. Might have to bring the sticks from the other side to have a look. Nope, first down. They won't have to measure. John McEnroe saying, come on, let's hurry up. He wants to have a word with Marty Cherry near the sideline and send the play in with him. So first down at the 36 with 1:09 left. Texas has its timeouts left. Williams now in the I backfield. And they're going to give it to him. Ricky Williams, this time he's got a little running room. Got deposited at the 26-yard line. Larry Atkins has had quite a game today. He just get a form tackle on Ricky Williams, but Williams will move the sticks again for Texas, and they're going to take a timeout.
Really the first time the Texas offensive line has been able to open up a seam in this front six against UCLA, and you finally see why Ricky Williams gets the ball. He's valuable. What's been happening, though, is they've been forcing Ricky to stay in the backfield because of the protection schemes that Texas has game planned. The end man on the line of scrimmage is coming, and they're keeping the back in the backfield. You can't catch passes when you're blocking defensive ends.
While Coach Makovic talks to his quarterback, we've got time for this week's Marriott Moment. We're going to take a look back at the 1996 Big 12 championship game between Texas and third-ranked Nebraska. Do you remember this one? Here's James Brown on a 4th and 1 to his tight end, Derek Lewis. Big gainer. And here's how he explained that play.
This is a crucial 4th down call in the game against Nebraska. It was 4th and inches, actually, and you have 3 running backs. Going down here, you have a play fake, you have the option to pass and run. And you see we had 2 receivers out in the pass pattern. Derek Lewis just happened to get behind Nebraska's defense because they drew up on the play action fake. And everybody was enthusiastic, and I was also. It was just a great call and great situation at the end of the game.
Great call and a tremendous finish. Texas won that game 37-27 to win the Big 12 championship game. One of 13 quarterbacks in college football history to have 3 straight conference championships, 2 Southwest and then that Big 12 title. And here's an interception, and it's Atkins again. Larry Atkins, his 2nd pickoff of the day, his 4th of the year. And there goes another possible Longhorn scoring drive, courtesy of the Bruin defense.
All-out blitz this time from UCLA. Cherry through the hot to Wayne McGarity coming across right in like this. Now watch Cherry throw it. He throws it like a bullet, and McGarity couldn't come up with it. And look who has it again, Atkins, who's been really the guy who's been all over the field and in the right spot at the right time. And you know, I think UCLA is going to go up top and try to get another one. They've got a lot of speed on the outside of this team, and let's see if McElroy doesn't try to take one deep.
Sean Williams huddled around Larry Atkins, the 2 leaders of that secondary, one playing, one not. And with Gary called, they just went for it. There's going to be a face mask back there on McElroy by Quentin Wallace in the secondary. Well, you called that one, Gary, and might have been completed had it not been for the interference.
Cade McNown threw his worst pass of the game, and it was so bad it ended up being good because it fooled everybody. Everyone had to adjust, and Wallace just grabbed the face mask, and they're going to get a 15 yards.
Pass interference, defense, 15 yards, previous spot, first down.
Ball is thrown up, and it is quacking right now. Quack, quack. And here it comes down. And there's if you can't catch the ball when you got a guy in a face mask like that.
Got to be able to see it to catch it.
Right. Plenty of time. 46 seconds. Ball on the 45 with a 38-point lead. I'd like to come in now and play quarterback. This will be fun.
Farmer and McElroy, the wideouts. It's McElroy in motion. Brown in at the tailback spot. They fake it to him. McNown sets up, deep sideline, just overshot his man McElroy. Covered back there by Tony Holmes.
Cade McNown is not a great deep thrower. He doesn't seem to have a lot of zip on the ball, but he offsets that with his mobility in the backfield and able to hit his backs in every different direction in the play action pass. This one again sails on him. The ball just floats up in the air. This is one he could have had with a great throw. Kind of tough to get criticized when you've thrown 5 touchdown passes, but that one was another quacker.
There's what he did against Peyton Manning last week.
Yeah, that's
400 yards. Today, 5 touchdowns. Here's a quick throw out to Farmer, his other wideout. And where are they going to say Farmer went out? About the 33-yard line. Very close to a first down. He's hit 7 different receivers today, McNown has.
Real interesting on this play. Everyone on the team except for the receiver and the quarterback thought it was a running play. McNown read the blitz, the receiver read the blitz, and he just tossed it out there before any of his linemen could get downfield. You'll see the linemen over here pull. They think it's going to be a running play. Now watch McNown. They almost run over McNown on the play, and he just throws it out there. Real simple. If they're blitzing, might as well take the easy throw.
Third down and short. McNown, plenty of time. There, he had some zip on that one. First down throw to McElroy down at the 23-yard line.
Awful simple. The first route you really put in on a game plan is the inside receiver goes to the flat, the outside receiver curls in. It's the old stop pattern. Everybody runs it on the sandlots.
Let's check out some other shows on ABC.
1 week from Wednesday,
18 to 49-year-olds, follow me!
our planet's fate.
Who are you? What do you want?
Will be in the hands of one man. This is the season that will have it all. Action, romance, nudity. Drew Carey, 1 week from Wednesday on ABC.
Look at the numbers for the UCLA quarterback today. First half numbers, 5 touchdowns.
And then these 5 touchdown passes, I know Doug Johnson had 7 against Central Michigan University down in Florida, but Texas, at least on paper, is no Central Michigan University. I think I'd go the ball right now to Dan Farmer. Great jumper, 6'3" on the outside, bump and run. He's got great coverage out there. I throw it up, try to get a touchdown.
Now he's got some pressure this time, and down he goes. Never got a chance to pick out his receiver, courtesy of Dusty Renfro. And now UCLA is going to take a quick timeout here with 22 seconds left. And finally, something for the Texas fans to cheer about, that Dusty Renfro blitz from the outside.
Yeah, but UCLA is still playing with the house's chips right now.
Boy, you got that right.
They feel good about it, and they're not nervous about calling anything. Let's see here. Let's go through the deck. What do we want?
Got the house's chips. They got the free buffet going.
That's right.
I think they probably have a suite wherever they're sleeping tonight.
Well, they're going to invite them, that's for sure. Of course, Bob Toledo came to UCLA after a stint as the offensive coordinator for the big rival Texas A&M down here. Was there on Terry Donahue's staff for a couple years. Terry Donahue decided TV was a little better business than coaching, and they elevated Bob Toledo.
I know one thing, they keep giving contracts like Spurrier's, and I don't think TV's the best option if you can coach.
I don't either. You get those $2 million jobs. In fact, that's the first thing we said to John Malkovich when we saw him. How about that contract for Steve Spurrier? And he said, that helps us all.
Yep.
Right now he needs more than $2 million contract.
Wow. Needs about 2 million yards of offense here. 22 seconds left, 38-0, and UCLA trying to add to it.
Texas is still not in a zone. They're coming.
2nd and 20, 3 wide outs.
Oh, they got him wide open.
There it is, Farmer. Legs are down. It would have been a touchdown, but hold on.
Texas is so fortunate.
Nobody within 15 yards of Dan Farmer.
Dead ball prior to the start. False start, offense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
Well, Texas had a fancy blitz on this time. So fancy they forgot to cover Dan Farmer right here. Look at, here's a guy here, here's a guy here. Nobody's here. And they're really, really fortunate that that ball, I don't know why they stopped that play. I didn't see anybody move. That was a premature whistle.
Well, I'm sure Dan Farmer thinks so too as he coasts into the end zone, trying to give the explanation to Bob Toledo. And instead of a touchdown, it's 2nd down and 25. Still 16 seconds remaining. Down, pressured, and he flips one over here intended for McElroy. And he got pressure again from Dusty Renfro. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. So still, even if they get only part of what they need for the 1st down, they're going to put themselves in field goal range.
And I think that'll be exactly the call right here. Texas will try to protect against the long pass. UCLA will think field goal, and they'll try to just pick up enough yards to get into field goal range.
Bruins are 7 out of 9 on the 3rd down conversions in this half. From the gun, McNown rolls in trouble. Finally got rid of it. There's an end-over-end job.
At that time, he had a lot of pressure. I think Aaron Humphrey got right in his face, and I think that was a great job by McNown, just taking the hit and getting rid of the ball in that play.
Yep, as Humphrey said, we like to get after it and tear stuff up. He got to tear something up that time finally.
Well, now 4th and this long, I think I call the Big Ben play into the end zone. Send 3 receivers, and Humphrey got a clean one. That was a tear it up right between the 1 and the 8. And I think now UCLA wants to throw it in the end zone and play jump ball. And remember, Dan Farmer, the outside receiver for UCLA, is a volleyball player, so he should have pretty a spring to get up and get this one.
He's going out to the left.
Doesn't look like that type of formation.
Ronnie Lee, the other wide out to the right side. He's going to run it here. Try to use up enough clock to have the half expire. Didn't quite get it done.
That was, I always like to find faults, but that was really a different call right there. No way that's going to take up the whole half.
3 seconds left as Texas will take over. Now they can air one out long if they choose.
See, that's not a misplay when it's 38-0, but if the score's 10-0, you have to throw that ball in the end zone. And I'm sure Bob will talk to Al Borges about that as they review their game plan and critique themselves after the game. I'm just helping. I'm just kidding.
Well, they got a 38-0 lead, so that's what they'll have, barring a miracle finish here to the second quarter by Texas. That's what they'll have coming out to start the third quarter. 38-0. The 0-2 Bruins leading 10th-ranked Texas. And don't you know that John Mackovic wishes that guy to his left was able to play. And play action. Going to swing it out to Williams if he can find the handle. Ricky Williams. And the half will expire as Ricky runs around near the 47-yard line. All UCLA. Bob Toledo's team leading 38-0 at halftime. ABC Sports presentation of college football return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Oh, hi, honey. Am I excited about Thursday? Of course, Thursdays are anniversaries.
As the UCLA Bruins have come to town and demolished the Longhorns through 2 quarters. 38-0 our halftime score. Welcome back to Austin, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. You know, when we talked to Bob Toledo yesterday, we said, is your team demoralized after being 0-2 in close games? He said, hey, we didn't get blown out, so there's hope. They're 2 plays away from being 3-0 maybe now.
What he's saying, we're 2 plays away from being a pretty good football team. Now they're 2 plays away from being a top 10 football team, beating Texas like this today. And really amazing the quarterbacks they faced and maybe who they didn't face today.
Well, that's just it. They had 2 quarterbacks they had to face in the first 2 games of the regular season, one from Washington State and Ryan Leaf, and then Peyton Manning the following week. We kind of put a little musical interlude together about what we might see. It goes something like this. This is what UCLA's had to look at the first 2 weeks.
Watch me!
And then watch Peyton Manning the second week.
Watch me!
And the numbers those 2 put up. And we thought with James Brown in the background, it would be a James Brown kind of day today. He hasn't been able to play. Here's the star of the show, though. Cade McNown, 5 touchdown passes.
Instead of James Brown, it's Cade McNown. His band of renown today.
There's the numbers, a new school record, 5 touchdown passes. And there's some pretty good names in there like Aikman and Neuheisel and Ramsey and some others. Tommy Maddox that all had 4 in a single game. Neuheisel did his in a Rose Bowl. There's a new school record, and we still have a half to go. 5 touchdown passes.
Not a very good day for Neuheisel.
That's right. Colorado got stepped on, and then he lost another one in the record books to Cade McNown. Let's check in with Dean, see what the coaches had to say at halftime.
Well, I just visited with John Mackovic about a minute ago, and he said, you know, this is not Texas football. We had to get our act together. He said it will be a real gut check to see if our guys can pull it together here in the second half. I said, well, James Brown play? He says, I sure hope not. In talking with Bob Toledo as they went into the locker room, he said, that's about as well as we can play. I said, Coach, what will you tell them, though, at halftime? He said, I'm going to tell them we're behind 24-0.
Well, that's a spot they found themselves in a couple of weeks. And John Mackovic coming in 1-0 with a 10th-ranked team, and you know that you can only make so many adjustments at halftime. What can you do when you're down 38-0?
Well, I don't even think John McEnroe could come back from this one.
It's 38 love right now.
How about minus 7 yards rushing? I don't care how many sacks you have. If you only can run the ball for 7 yards, and really the quarterback play has been atrocious for Texas in the first half. And I don't think James Brown, if they have to play Fiebiger at quarterback, they're not going to put James Brown in.
Well, that's what we were talking about. If it was maybe a 3-touchdown game, you might see him, but you certainly doubt it in this situation. Phil Dawson, first time we've been able to see the All-American kicker today, set to kick off. And that's Jermaine Lewis back there with McElroy waiting on it, and Dawson knocks it out of the end zone. So UCLA will work from its 20. Poor Bevo, it's about 110 degrees down on the field, and his team's down by 38.
It's got the same expression when they're up by 38.
Yeah, the eyes kind of squinting just a little. When the eyes are doing that,
right.
The eyes of Texas are having problems right now. These guys have had no problem. They come out with a 38-0 lead to start the third quarter from the 20-yard line. And to give Skip Hicks, and they're picking up where they left off in the first half. He goes for 14 out to the 34.
Well, Aaron Humphrey was a defensive end last year. Now, in middle linebacker, he could get hit from all different angles. And right now, when you're a young middle linebacker, you're saying, where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? Well, they came from both sides at time. And Skip Hicks ran right by him.
Looked a little like Hubert Humphrey on that play.
Well,
14 yards.
You know, I think this is it is not a big drive for the outcome of this game, but I think it makes it an awful easy game for UCLA if they make a few first downs and get the crowd back out of the game.
Right. Casey Hampton in on the stop there, and actually a loss on the play.
One play he's Aaron Humphrey, then he's Hubert Humphrey, and on this last play he got squashed like Humpty Dumpty.
Second down and 11.
It's going to be a long day.
It sounds like it. Let's see if McNabb comes up throwing on 2nd and 11. Nope, going to toss it to Hicks. Waits on his blockers and goes down at the original line of scrimmage. So Texas defense going to force a 3rd and long here. Tony Holmes and Donald McCown in on the tackle.
Bob Toledo told his team to play like they're down 24-0, but they're not calling plays like they're down 24-0. And that's really, you could just see the UCLA team. They would just like to get on that airplane and fly back to Westwood.
Now 3rd and 10. And from the shotgun, 3 wideouts for McNown. On a roll and throws to an open Farmer. Did he catch it? Nope, out of bounds. Farmer had a step, but there was too much chalk too quickly over there, and he couldn't get his foot down.
Well, I thought he drug his foot across. Let's see if we can stop it right as he catches it. Oh, he had, look how sweet that was.
Wow.
That was perfect, and he was in bounds.
Should have been a catch for Dan Farmer.
Wow, that was
He's hot,
nice.
and he has a reason to be, I think.
That was like, he plays volleyball. That was like beach volleyball at its best right there. Stayed in bounds and was going to hit it up. Wow, was that pretty. That was a James Brown dance step,
Was that a
it?
dig, or what do you call that? Here's a punt coming up. Saylor, both the punter and place kicker. First time since back in the Frank Corral days at UCLA that one guy did both jobs, and he hangs up the punt for Brian White. And White didn't call. Did he call fair catch? Flags are down.
Still had that 6-foot rule.
That is a hard one to uphold, I tell you. You run down there, you're playing special teams, you're going 100 miles an hour. All you want to do is take somebody's head off. And if you don't put the brakes on and don't give them 6 feet, it's a penalty. And that's what's being discussed over there on the sideline. That was a good catch.
That was James Brown at his best.
That's right.
Dead ball, personal foul on Texas. Will administer both penalties.
So personal foul on Texas. And we're going to see Richard Walton to start the third quarter. That was some of the talk in the press box up here at halftime. Did John Makovic pull Richard Walton too quickly in favor of Marty Cherry? And as Gary said, he thought that one pass where he threw back across his body and had it intercepted was probably the
that teed off, John. There's no doubt about it. He's a quarterback coach in his heart, and he just didn't like to see that. And you know, they could put in John Boy Walton right now, and I don't think it's going to make much difference.
It's Walton's mountain right now. They're down 38.
They got to climb a long way.
And there's what they did in the first half. The two quarterbacks, neither shining whatsoever, and 3 interceptions. 2 of them by Larry Atkins, who's got 4 on the year. Toss. Ricky Williams gets taken down in a hurry by Damon Smith.
Wow. Haven't been able to block him.
And part of the reason might be that left side's depleted by injury. Dean's got more on that.
Yeah, Octavius Bishop, you guys mentioned when he went down, they x-rayed his elbow at halftime, and although they saw no major damage at this time, they said that it was swollen so big that he can't go back in the second half. He's in civilian clothes.
All right, that's the big left tackle for Texas we're talking about, and this is the defensive back Glenn Tompkins for UCLA that is injured on this particular play.
Who is subbing for Sean Williams, the starter, so now they're going to be down to their 3rd safety.
Gotcha.
Listen to the hit that put him down. Got all of the running back, but the running back got him too.
Yeah, I think it's he got hit right across. That was he wasn't shy about that tackle, was he?
Nope. Might just be a low blow, I think. It's waiting on Glenn to get his wind back a little bit. Gives us a chance to remind you coming up next Saturday. America's biggest road show will roll on. Live regional action starts at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on ABC Sports. Most of you will see Nebraska and Washington. The Cornhuskers survived today. We saw Washington and how good they looked last week. We'll be down in Death Valley. Number 21 Clemson waiting on 6th-ranked Florida State. They'll both be unbeaten in that ACC clash. Check your local listings for the game on your ABC station and the games available from your cable operator. There's Sean Williams, the guy that's out, but the guy that just made the tackle has taken his place and done a nice job up until being injured there a moment ago. It's 2nd down and 10, meanwhile, for Texas. With 12.5 to go in the 3rd, and they're down by 38. Walton fires to White. And Brian White's got a 1st down for the Longhorns and out of bounds. Knocked out by Marcus Anderson.
Marcus Anderson now is probably a redshirt junior as many times as he's got throws against him. He said, hey, ain't nothing. You can have that. I'll just wait till you go downfield a little bit. I'm feeling good about myself. You can have those 10-yarders.
He's got one of the 3 interceptions today. The other 2 are by Atkins. There's Marcus out of Long Beach.
Gaining a lot of valuable experience in a big game like this, getting thrown on this much.
UCLA bringing the blitzes from all different locations. 2nd receiver is Ricky Williams, and he got popped by Marcus Anderson. Not afraid to hit the All-American running back with some authority.
Well, Texas MO is a passing team. UCLA came into this game with only 1 sack, but they have really dominated the line of scrimmage, and they have put pressure on whomever the quarterback was in this game. And the reason is they used game plan B, because game plan A, if James Brown was in there, would have been a little bit different.
Yep.
A little more control. But when they have a quarterback that's a sitting duck, they just turn it loose.
2nd down and 9. Walton's going to give it off inside, and that one's losing yardage again. Tried a quick opening draw.
4 guys unblocked on that play.
And Clayton dropped for a loss. Let's check in on Glenn Tompkins' condition with Dean on the sideline.
Well, Brad, you were professionally correct. It was a low blow. He came off the sidelines as a soprano, and when he proved he was a baritone, he's reinstated.
One of those Andrew Galata things going on down there.
Look at this last play. You're going to see 4 UCLA players unblocked in this play and in the backfield, just standing there waiting to make the play.
3rd down at 13. Walton fires complete. Brian White, his 2nd catch on this series, and it's 2nd 1st down as well in front of Marcus Anderson.
And they're going to get roughing the passer. Weldon Ford that time came from the outside and hit Walton a little bit late. Oh, they're calling holding.
Ooh. So that's going to negate the 1st down throw when it looked like it was going to be tacked on going the other direction.
Holding offense, spot foul. Repeat second down.
So it's going to be second down, and it's going to be way back at about the, 16-yard line? Where are they going to walk it off to? 14-yard line. Third down. Back at the 9. I'll finally get that line of scrimmage right. They back it up to the 9-yard line.
Jay Humphrey, the right tackle, has moved over into Bishop's spot, and Brent Kelly has moved over to right tackle.
Because of the injury to Octavius Bishop, having to shuffle that line. Ricky Williams broke the tackle at the line of scrimmage. He lost the football. Scooting around, still uncovered, and UCLA's got it again.
My.
And it's Wilmer, the middle linebacker. 6th turnover against Texas today.
Ricky Williams was like he was shot out of a cannon with that draw play. He was into the secondary, and I'm not sure who took a swipe at that ball, but it was hit from behind. It might have been Dajan McGee, the linebacker. I think Wilmer's the guy who ended up with it, but that ball was going one way 100 miles an hour and then the other way. Quick draw this time gets it into the secondary. Ricky's going 100 miles an hour north, and now the ball, yes, hit from Dajan McGee, number 57. That ball just pops loose. You see they went for the fumble, and they got it.
And they got great field position again at the 9. First and goal, Skip Hicks. Inside the 1.
Yeah, McNown is saying, stop.
I got to throw another touchdown.
Please don't go across that goal line.
I tell you what, if Grieve the tight end isn't covered on this next play, I'm going to be shocked.
I think right now, the whole UCLA staff is going to be embarrassed to throw the ball for a touchdown. Now, Steve Spurrier would not be embarrassed to throw right here. But Al Borges, I think, is going to say, let's give it to Skip Hicks and let's run the ball in there.
Skip's got 30 career rushing touchdowns. Now he's got another one. 44-0. Hicks airborne easily for the score for UCLA following the fumble recovery by UCLA's defense. So Brian Wilbur gives it over to the offense, and another rushing touchdown. 11 straight games that Skip's been able to do that. Here's another look.
That time, Craig Melendi, the fullback, just inched everyone out that time. And Skip Hicks, when he gets airborne a foot from the line of scrimmage, he's going to score every time. And, you know, Bob Toledo wanted to sell his football team out of the fact that Texas thought they were soft. I think he did a good sell job today.
Did he ever? 45-0.